I've seen a lot of people build great YouTube channels, but not actually build a business. And the difference isn't the video and the content that you created, but it's the infrastructure that you put around those videos and that channel. And I think there's one test that will actually show you what you've built, and that's asking the question, if your YouTube channel disappeared tomorrow, would you still have a business? Would you still survive? Would you still make money? And in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the ideas that I've used to start making almost $2,000 a month with only 2,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. So let's jump in here and I'm going to show you kind of what I've worked through. All right, so let's talk about kind of the first mistake that I made when starting, and a lot of creators make, which is they kind of assume that, you know, your channel is like the same as business, right? But here we have a channel. What do you do with the channel, right? You're making videos, you're, you know, thinking about uploads, which are obviously the videos, but you're looking for views, and like you're thinking about thumbnails, and also you think about editing, right? Wow, that's a bad E there. All right, so you're thinking about these things, and in your mind, like these all equate a business when you're starting YouTube and trying to build a channel. Now, you might not be building a channel for a business, but this is for people who want to make money and build something sustainable. So here you have the channel, and that's kind of what you're focusing on. Well, this is not equal to your business, right? So like all of this does not equal the business. Okay. And I'm going to show you why in this video and kind of how to like go about this. Okay. So let's clear that out, and we'll talk about what I asked you at the beginning of this video, which was if YouTube disappears, what happens? What happens to your channel and your business and whatever? Does it survive? If it doesn't survive, then what you have is just a channel. So if the answer is no to that, if YouTube disappears and you don't still make money and you have no way of still building your business, then you just have a channel. If it's yes, then hopefully you can see that, okay? If it's yes, then you have a business. And this is built off of things that actually last. And that's important because if you're trying to build something on YouTube and you're trying to grow, that can't be the only focus, because views do not equate to money and income. All right, so what actually builds a business then? What actually makes the creator business work? So let's talk about something. One, you need to have, let's just put this up here. Number one, clear audience. Okay. So you have to have a clear audience. You have to know exactly who you're talking to. So let's break this down into kind of categories here. So we're going to draw like a little, you know, grid here. And on the left side, we're going to have your channel. And on the left side over here, we're going to have your business. Okay. So we have channel, business, and right here, you're going to have videos, right? This is what you're focusing on if you're just building, you know, a channel and not a business, if you're not really focusing about the business. The other thing that you're going to do over here for businesses is you're also going to focus on videos, right? The whole point is a creator business. So this is not something you remove from the business. This is a big part of it. And it's going to be the top of the funnel, but it's not the only thing you're doing. You're worrying about your audience. You're looking to, you know, email, like building your email list, maybe building community. So this doesn't have to be an online community, but it can be just the community you're building within YouTube. But it can also be an online community. You're thinking about products. So like, what are you offering? And really services. And then you have to have a way to follow up. Okay. So you have to think about how you're going to follow up. So businesses serve specific audiences, right? So you're going to serve a specific audience. You need to get them into an email list, and then you obviously need to find out what kind of products or services they're wanting. What are they looking for? That's what a business is focusing on. A channel might focus on audience a little bit, but it's only for the videos. It's only for the views. A business sees a focus on the audience for a couple of different reasons. And so that's kind of what builds us out with the clear audience. So with email, the big thing here is direct communication. If, you know, YouTube goes down or leaves, you're not going to have, direct communication. Platforms always change. Social media comes and goes. And I think YouTube is here for the long term, but you need direct communication. And that's what email's for. It gives you a way to monetize and communicate to your audience without the platform. Okay. So when I talk about community, I mentioned that this could be like online community. So this could be anything like Discord or, Kajabi or building your own, but I suggest building a school community. That is the fastest growing community platform. I use it for my communities and I think it's the most effective, but you can also just build your community out through YouTube with some of the tools that they've built in as well. So you don't have to pay for an online platform. But I will say, if you're wanting to start upping the money you're making and the offer and the services and things like that, the way to get that depth with your audience is a online community. For products and services, this can be anything you want it to be. For me personally, my products on my other channel, my main channel, is selling digital assets or digital products. So it might be things that help people color grade their videos, like LUTs and presets. It could be templates for motion graphics, things like that. Those are kind of the products, the digital products. But then I also offer services that are for editing. So I edit for different YouTubers and their channels and their businesses. I'll edit their videos. So I offer an editing service as well. This is where the most money is right here, especially starting out. A lot of people I know don't want to do these. They want to build, their audience, their videos, email list, community, and maybe do, digital products, but they definitely stay away from services. Services is going to be your biggest way and easiest way to make money quickly in the beginning. So think about what services you might offer. This doesn't have to be a done for you service. This can be a coaching service. This could be a mentorship program, whatever that might be. It's still a service. But that's where you're going to make the most money. So you have to think about that when you're starting up. And the other thing here is follow up. And I hadn't really explained that much, but the follow up is key in landing and getting the warm, leads to become your actual paying clients or customers, whatever you want to call them. Follow-up system is important. So you need to work on structuring what that looks like. Obviously, that can be email campaigns. That can be a number of different things, but having a follow-up system so that once you get your audience engaged with your content, starting to look at your products and services or community, that kind of thing, how do you follow up with them to get them on board? That's key. All right. So what does this look like in practice? For me, it's YouTube is kind of like the top of the funnel. I'm not drawing a funnel, but top of the pipeline, right? And then it's going to feed your audience. And what I mean by feed is it's going to filter out your audience. So then you're going to know who your audience is based off of the content that you're building on YouTube, who's watching, who's engaging, who's clicking and staying and commenting, all that stuff. You're going to build that audience. You start to know what that audience is, what they want, what their needs are. And that's going to inform, your email list. Okay. So then what you're going to do is you're going to build an email list from your audience. And this can be, putting up a free product or a free guide or something, which is called a lead magnet, that they're going to opt in to download and get, and then they'll give you their email in response to that. And so then you build your email list, and from here, then you can start pushing products. Okay, this pipeline is the most effective way. Sometimes people might go from audience straight to products and jump past the email list. Every time you're selling a product, though, you need to have your email capture from that product go back to your email list. So even if the audience comes straight from YouTube and, starts to know you, then jumps to a product or a service or whatever it might be, this still needs to be reciprocal, come back to the email list, and you can segment those out however you want. But that needs to be there, and because you want to build the email list, not just from the people who are somewhat interested, but the people who've already bought from you. That's a big deal. Those are already hot leads that you can then sell to again on your email list. And then that basically leads to revenue, right? So this is where you're making the money. That's where you're building revenue with this pipeline right here. What you got to think about. So in here, I didn't put anything about community, but your community is where you build retention. Okay. So the community, whether that is just on YouTube or in an actual free online community or whatever. This is where you're going to build the retention, which is going to cause people to stay longer and get to know you even more and become more likely to purchase products, services, whatever you're offering. They're going to be a lot more likely to purchase your offer. So you want to build this community. You want to have this community within this pipeline. It's not a direct line. It could be in your products, right? You could have memberships to your community. That could be some of your offers, but community starts and goes almost the whole way. You want to build that community in the entire process. And then again, follow up wasn't up there. So follow up is, where you have sales. I kind of already talked about that. This is where you're going to get sales when you follow up. So if you have a system, that might be, down here further, or it's definitely in the emails as well, your email list. Any way you can follow up is going to drive sales. So you might be following up just within your warm community on YouTube, your online community. It could be your email list. It could be the hot leads that come back who have already purchased one product, but you have another product you think they would like, and it maybe is a higher tier or high ticket product. That's where you're going to follow up and you're going to have sales. Okay, so why does this matter to small YouTube channels? You might be thinking that. I thought that for a long time. Why does this matter when I'm just trying to build a channel? I'm just trying to get to monetization. Why does this all matter? Well, the reason it matters is because you don't have to wait to become huge and get a ton of views and subscribers to make money. And so many people think that you do. You don't have to. So small channels plus systems equal income. Okay. So small channels like you and me right now on this channel, small channels plus systems. So this is what I've been talking about this whole video, creating a system here. That's where you get the income. If you're waiting to become a huge channel, great. You can build systems then too, and you're going to make even more income, right? When you're a big channel. But why wait until you're a big channel to get income? You should get income right away. So big channels, if you're a big channel, and let's say you don't build systems. So let's say you just build you on YouTube and you're just trying to build a channel, and you actually get to the place where your channel is big, but you don't have systems. It only produces views, right? It doesn't give you income. Now you can build the systems after you become big and get the income, right? We already talked about that. But if you're just building your channel, you're missing out on a ton of income starting off, which can springboard you into faster growth because you're able to put more into it because you're making income off it. Don't just wait to become a big channel. Start when you're a small channel. That's the key to this video that I'm trying to talk about. I want you to build the systems and put them in place when you're small. All right. So now that we're done with that, on each of these videos, I want to jump in to the community tab of my YouTube channel and just answer some questions that were left in the comments. So if you have any questions, doesn't have to be about the topic I talked about, drop those in the comments below. This is something I want to start doing in these just behind the scenes videos, because I want to make sure that everyone gets their questions answered or their comments read. And I just think it's a cool way of building community. So this is what we're doing. So I'm going to just sort this by the newest here, and we're going to go through. I'm going to come down here and just read through this. So this comment says a timely video. This was on my previous video. Why you must keep posting even when you on YouTube when no one's watching. Yeah, love it. Thanks for this comment here. A lot of kind words, talking about currently the things that stood out to them, in that video. If you haven't watched that video, go check it out. It's a, kind of the precursor to this video, and gives you a lot of info on, inputs versus outputs. So 3 months in, 3 videos per week. Awesome. 3 videos per week. That's crazy. Wow. That's really good. Have not gotten anything for free in life, so I'm grinding away. Yeah, I mean, you already got 180 subscribers. That's great. And you're only 3 months in. Well done. Keep working at it. Keep going at it. Keep grinding, like you said. That's awesome. Excellent. Thank you. You got 1,000. Nice. 1,000 subs. Thanks for commenting. Thank you for the advice. You're welcome. K-Mac. I started a YouTube channel. Don't know what I'm doing yet, but having fun doing it. Absolutely. Have fun doing it. That's a huge part of it. I know I talk a lot about kind of the business and analytics and stuff on the back end here, but that's great. I love seeing that you're having fun. Like that's the biggest part. If you can't do it for a long term, then you might as well not even start, right? John Gigglebox. How's it going? This is a great video. I'm starting to feel, yeah, like an anomaly. Yep. You got 2,000 subs though, right? Let's see your channel. Yeah. Okay. So you've been going for a while, 9 years. Dang, 400,000 on that video 9 years ago. So you have some long-term play, right? Some slow burners, but still, this is great stuff. This is great stuff. That's really cool. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for jumping in and giving input. Love to see it. All right. I'm not really sure what that means, but okay. Thank you. Nickel B Bacher. All right. True. Yeah. You want to do quality, right? Yeah. I mean, you don't need to like produce the most amount of, videos, like obviously focus on quality. I'm not sure what this is referencing to in this video, because it's not just about putting out videos that don't have quality. I mean, in this video, I don't know if you got to the end of it, but there's 3 parts to growth. One is consistency and actually focusing on the inputs, but 2 is knowing what your audience wants and figuring that out. And then 3 is to consistently get better. So improve on every video. So yeah, I mean, I totally agree. Like quality videos are important, but I think if you sit here and bring up this topic of only quality, you're going to sit there and never make a video and never come out with any videos, because you're going to just focus on quality. So, and YouTube is a consistency algorithm. So yes, I agree with this, and definitely put in effort and time to make consistent, and don't just shovel out, a bunch of stuff. But at the same time, you have to understand that being consistent, with your uploads and your inputs, and not focusing on the goals, which are the outputs, is what this video is all about, and improving and knowing what your audience wants. All that is in growth. So awesome. Hey, thanks guys for watching this video. Hopefully this was helpful. Again, if you have comments or thoughts or questions, drop them in this video, drop them in any video. I go through and I'm going to do this on the tail end of all my videos and just check the comment section and be able to respond, talk through some questions, maybe live on the camera. So if you want to see a more detailed response than just texting or, replying in the comment section, drop those comments in the section below. Again, if you're wanting to watch that last video, you can watch right here. I'm linking it. And it just talks about why you should keep posting even when no one's watching, because the growth is a long game, and you're going to see outputs down the road that don't come for a while. You can't focus on those. You got to focus on inputs. So check that video out over there, and I'll see you in the next video.